Hello friends, welcome to TD Homestead. Today is Sunday, July 27th, 2025. Today's video we're going to try to do some grafting. I figure we start out right here at the in-ground US 942. It's flushed out with a huge amount of growth, and so it's a real bush now. Figured I'd show that, how healthy it's looking right at the moment. Nice bushy tree. But let's walk over here and get the cuttings that we're going to try to do our little grafting. This will be the second time with us trying to do some grafting. We're not getting it, but let's stop here too. So this changsha we just planted, I'm pretty sure this is the last one we planted, most recent this year. And so that made our 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th in-ground citrus, but only 2 have been through a winter so far. So this upcoming winter is going to be a test. Or no, 3 have been through a winter. That US 942 went through the winter as well, unprotected. But as you can see, if you look down here, tons of new branches have come up on this changsha, and this is the one we got from McKenzie Farms. Then the other changsha we got, unfortunately, we got some bad news. We had 2 fruit on it, and we thought we were going to get to try a changsha this year, but the heavy winds we got the other day shook the tree so much it snapped the branch off, and there's the shriveled up branch and the changshaws that we were hoping to try, but I guess it'll be better luck next year. And then here's so that's the changsha we got from Madison Citrus Nursery. And then this one here is our 10-degree tangerine that we got from McKenzie Farms. This is what we're going to take our cuttings from to try and do some grafting. And so where I'm going to take the cutting from is going to be right here. I'm trying to direct some of the energy of growth to a different part of the tree. I'm probably going to trim the tips of a few of those there. I see we got some nice new growth here on this branch there. But anyway, that's going to be our branch. We're going to try to get some 10-degree tangerines. And so there's the look at the changsha and then the 10-degree tangerine. And then over here was our prague, which is what we've already done some successful cuttings from. I'll show you in a second. But there it is in ground, doing just fine. Probably going to try to do some more cuttings from that soon. But let's walk over here where we're going to be trying to do the grafting at. And I'll show you the 2 we did already. And then I'll get set up so we can try to do at least 1 together. I don't know. We might try to do 2. But so here, that one right there, that leaf right there, that leaf right there, all that is from this graft that we did back on June 22nd, and it's on a flying dragon. So you see this still got that little cellophane stuff on there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that off. Then the other one we did that time was this one here, same day. And so all that growth right there and there is new. So that graft we went ahead and took the cellophane off because that new growth was having trouble getting out. And this one is on a rich 16.6 rootstock, done the same day as the other one. So anyway, right behind them is a couple more rootstocks, and those are what we're going to try to use today. So let me get set up, and we'll try to get at least 1 grafted, starting to get close to getting dark. Okay, I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. So let's just put this down here to start with. And let's go ahead and just take this here out. This one's the flying dragon. And we're going to go ahead and do the cleft graft, I believe. So try to find a piece that'll be similar in size. Alright. We got a lot of budwood there to work with, and but anyway, so I think I'll leave. I mean, the nodes are so close together on the thing. I'm tempted to leave 3 on it. Normally, I'd probably just leave 2. You know what? We're just gonna go with the 2. All right, so go right there, and go ahead and cut the leaves off. Well, before we do that, just so you don't make a mistake, well, it's pretty. You can see it's going up, but if you was any doubt, you could just leave the leaf on. So what we're going to do now, we're going to try to find a place that we think we can line this up with the center of it. And wherever that is where we're going to cut this thing off at. I think we'll go ahead and try cutting it right below there. Let's get it over here on this side where we can see it a little bit better. Yeah, I think that'll work good. Maybe a tiny bit lower. This one's probably the easiest style. So this is only my second time grafting, so that's why this is going a little slow. That's why I said I'm probably only going to do 1 on camera here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to line this up. And I think that fits really well. Right there, I believe. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our razor knife here. We're going to slice it on one side, like trying to get toward the center of it from this side. And it might take you a couple of, and then you're going to turn it over. It might take you a couple on this side too. You can go to the same place on the other side. So, wasn't happy with the way that ended up there at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and skin it back a little bit further. Matter of fact, I've decided I don't like that piece. So, like I said, we got plenty of budwood here. That thing wasn't skinning the way I wanted it to. So, let's try another piece. See if we can get another piece to match up a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. Alright, let's see if we can make this work out a little bit better than the other one did. So, yeah, perfect right there. Let's try that again. I think this Might work out better, we'll see. Alright, so basically we've just shaved off a little bit on this side, shaved it down to a point more or less. And now we're just gonna go right in here, and in the very center of it, and it's gonna be wedged down in there. So we're gonna go down the same more or less depth. There, we'll get right in the middle. Be careful, don't cut yourself. So it's probably best to just kind of try to rock it a little, get it started. Stay in the middle as best you can. Probably best to be wearing gloves to do this, but I did not. All right. So then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the leaves off of this. And we're definitely only gonna have time to do one. So, and then we got this, it's basically like saran wrap. And like I said in another video, normally some of the people who do this more often than me, they use something a little bit different than this, but this will work. As you see, I had some success already. Let's try to stretch this just a little bit before we get started, right here at the start of it. And really the only reason you're putting this on here is to try to keep this little cutting from drying out before it's had a chance to take, for the grafts had a chance to take. Now, one thing I had noticed last time, the problem we had was, I won't say problem, but it could have been a problem. The cutting, when it started to take, was having trouble getting, the new growth was having trouble getting out. So anyway, we're gonna try to see if we can't leave it where it won't have that problem. So now all we're gonna do is try to wedge this in there and make sure we get at least one edge lined up. All right, well, might need to get in here with this and help it a little bit started. Once the wedge gets in there, you can get it down in there probably. All right, there we go. All right, parsley in there. I don't know how happy I am with how this one's working for me, but I believe it'll work. Just have to wait and see. So now what I'm going to do is just wrap this as tight as I can around the rest of it. And then hopefully it'll take. If it doesn't, we'll just have to try again another time. But yeah, it's kind of hard to keep things exactly where I want them here. Find it, but all right. Anyway, I think that'll be good. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I think it's lined up good enough on really both sides, but and on one for sure. As long as you get one side or the other lined up good and even with the rootstock, it should be okay. So there's that one. And we'll end up having to put a label on that letting us know that was 10-degree tangerine. And I don't know, let's see if we can possibly do one on this one too. We'll look at it and see. All right. So on this one, I guess we could try to do the same side veneer graft like we did on the prague that worked for us already. So what I'll do is see if I can get a piece that seems like it'll work for us good, and one that we could get lined up right, and we'll try to do one. Heck, might as well. All right. So let's see. So if we're gonna do a side veneer graft, you're gonna do one side is gonna be a little longer than the other when you do it. So we got that side. Now this side we'll do a little bit shorter. And then instead of going and chopping the top off, what you do is you kind of go into the side of the plant. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to take this off. And one thing it don't look like I'm going to be able to do that I was able to do when I did the other two is I was able to leave a leaf of the rootstock, a little bit of vegetation kind of act as some photosynthesis. Yeah, I know. I'm doing a lot of breaks in my talking because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing here. So anyway, I've made my little slit in the side, and I got one side of this little piece shaved a little bit longer than the other. And so the side that's a little less is going to be on the outside. And I've made my little V-notch. And now all I'm going to do is try to slide this in behind it. But actually, first I need to go ahead and put my budding tape, which is really not the right stuff, but it'll work. And here we go. Keep our cutting from drying out. Yeah, this stuff's hard to work with, kind of. All right, here we go. All right. So, let's go ahead and start right here. Stretch it a little bit as you go around. All right. This one might be a little harder to get the plastic in there very good, but we'll see. I think this one would have been easier to do if I had more light, but I got no light now, so just gonna try to hurry up and get through it. And I'm gonna come back up again a little bit higher, see if I can get that really pressed up against there nice and tight. And then normally I think you'd try to come across the top here just to kind of keep, but I don't think that's gonna work, so I just ain't gonna worry about it. We'll just see what happens. Doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's kind of a different one. It's stuck into the side of this, and I've actually seen where people sometimes won't cut this off. They'll just pull it down here like this so that you can still have a little bit of foliage on it to keep the rootstock going in case that graft don't take. So I think that's what I'll probably do. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get that done. I think I'll just use some of this right here to hold it there for the work. Maybe it will. So yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do it. Just like that. Wow. Yeah, that ain't working good. We should use tape. We'll know better next time. But now that we've already started, I think we'll make it work. All right. And then what we'll do is go ahead and snip that off right there. Whew. These things have got thorns. And we'll snip that off right there. And I don't know if that helps or not, but I feel like give it a little something to give it some photosynthesis. It's got to help. So anyway, we got 2 grafts we've done on camera, and this video's gotten probably way longer than I expected it to be, but that's all right. We'll come back in a few weeks and check them and see if either one of them takes. Hopefully both of them will. But until next time, be kind and enjoy your day.